So I'm going to do something completely different from everybody else. Okay, so just bear with me for just a short while. So I've noticed that a lot of us who come from, my cultural heritage and such, are actually really, really bad at touching one another. Now, when we do acrobatics, it's understood we're going to get our hands in all sorts of interesting places. When I do Fight Club, it's also understood I'm going to get my hands in all sorts of interesting places. If I'm gonna bandage somebody when I'm doing first aid, or if I'm gonna fit somebody for clothes, I'm allowed to put my hands on them. We all understand this, but Kiwis, if you go up and touch them on the street, they jump out of their skin like that. This person's touching me. I had a French couch surfer. She was about 50 kilos if she was soaking wet, and she was tiny. And we ran into a male friend of mine who was literally twice her size. He would have easily weighed 100 kilos. We went on the street and I said, "Oh, this is my friend Greg." And she bounced up to him to kiss him on the cheeks, as they do in France. And he goes, like this. He did. And she looks at me and she goes, "Nobody's ever done that to me before." I said, "Don't worry, it's not your fault. It's his." And he goes, "I'm so sorry." And this is true, okay? This is something that I've noticed in myself. I do this myself. It's okay when I'm at acro. I can get my hands on people. I can hug people in circus, because this is what we do. I've even gotten used to French people kissing me. Oh, shit. It's okay. It happens. But all my life, this is a thing, as Kiwis we don't touch each other. We're really friendly, we smile at people on the streets, we wave, we talk to you, we'll show you the way and all that kind of thing. And if you touch us, we'll jump out of our skins. So, I want to ask people here, now, first put up your hand if you weren't born in New Zealand. Okay, right. Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up if you have ever experienced Hongi. Hongi, which is the traditional Maori greeting for one another. If you have experienced it. Okay, so there's a fair few of you that have experienced this. Okay, now, put your hands down. Put your hands up if you were born in New Zealand. Keep your hands up if you have experienced Hongi, the traditional Maori greeting. Okay, some of us have put our hands down. Now, this is a big deal. This is our traditional greeting, the way that people greet each other, in our culture, and some of us don't know it. A lot of people who are here don't know it, and I have determined that, well, in the last little while, this is just my own personal thing, that I was trying to find a way that it's okay to touch people. I learn how to do this, break beyond those boundaries of my heritage and all that kind of thing. And a friend of mine said that he does Hongi with his whānau, and I'm going, that's perfect. You can, it's totally non-sexual. You can do Hongi with a child, you can do it with your grandparents, you can do it with a member of the same gender or opposite gender, regardless of your sexual orientation. It's not engage with any of that sexual shit that Westerners get into. Seriously, so many of us are so starved for contact that that's the only contact we get, and so there's a large part of why a lot of our culture is about people being far too willing to give themselves up, and have real issues with sex. So let's just take it out of the equation. Let's just do a thing for a while, for a moment, which is, it's in your face, literally. It's in your face. It is intimate. It is sharing breath. Hongi is about sharing breath. So, Westerners, we have this tendency. We put our foreheads and noses together and we hold our breath until we go blue in the face. We've got no fucking idea what's going on. What we're doing is we're sharing breath. And when we share breath, what we also get is we get knowledge of the other person. We know if they've got a temperature. We know we can smell from their breath what their body chemistry is like. And I've been drinking alcohol, so you'll get that too. So we get to know these things about each other. We don't have to ask. We can just share breath for a moment. So I just wanted to challenge you all, because this is what I like to do. I like to challenge people to do things that make them uncomfortable. Turn to somebody you don't know, you haven't met, or rather if you have met them you only barely know their name. If you know their name, you may have seen their face before perhaps. Not someone you've met every single day, but someone you haven't met yet. We're going to experience Hongi as we do it in New Zealand, and I want this to catch on because I think it's a great way for New Zealanders to greet people. I think it's really fantastic, and I think that this would be a way that I'd really like to see people get to do this. So, I know you both. Hang on. I'll find somebody. I don't know you. Stand up. No. Right. See, a volunteer. Voluntold, as I tell people. Okay, right. So all of you, find somebody. We're all going to do this together. It's not just me. And sorry, what was your name? Okay. Have you found somebody you're not already really familiar with? I am. Okay, right, so how this is done. Okay, you're allowed to put your hand on their shoulder to get your distance, it's okay. Okay, for those of us who are relatively new to this, okay, it can be done. If you want to seem really masculine, you can hold hands in front like this, but it's a barrier. So you can, this is open. You're going to push your foreheads and your noses together. It's not a headbutt. Okay. Those of us who are familiar with these things, we're not trying to knock them unconscious. Okay. Once you get there, you're going to relax and breathe out, and then you're going to breathe in and pull and you can stand up then. So you're sharing breath.
Through your nose.
Yeah, you breathe out through your nose, and breathe in through your, breathe in through your nose. You're sharing breath. If you can, those of you with hay fever at TV, you're forgiven. Okay, right, okay, so all right, just try this, just see what it looks, if you like it. Okay, so thank you all for trying this.